I've always wanted to go to a big city and live and work from your laptop. That's like what the whole, I guess, kind of end goal is being able to work from wherever you want. And I always wanted to do it, but I always put it off for a bit because I never really knew where the business was going to go, and I want to make sure I was still going to be good so it wasn't a dumb decision. But finally, with where we're at now, a new apartment in Montreal, and we're going to be living on our own and working from a new spot. Leaving home for the first time in 3.5 years is definitely a bittersweet feeling. I'm not going to miss any of this aspect of it as far as the snow goes and the cold, but I'm going to miss the tight-knit friend group that I have. We have a close group of like 23 people, so yeah, obviously going out with all the guys and the girls is something that I will for sure inevitably miss. And I mean, it's going to be a massive change for me, which change is good because it results in usually growth and a lot of learning. But yeah, I mean, being at home, waking up, me and my dad having a coffee every morning, even my mom making me dinners. Like, I've never cooked a meal for myself in the last 2.5 years. So that's going to be a huge change. My family is very, very close. I'm very close with my family. We get together every Sunday, watch football, eat dinner. My brother, another hard thing is my brother just had a kid, Brielle, his daughter. So leaving her at her prime stages in life, she's half a year old right now. Obviously, who knows when I'll see her next. I'm sure I'm obviously going to be coming down in the summer to go to camp. We're going to plan stuff and whatnot. Even from a camp perspective, we have a place out on the lake. Not being able to go out there and whatnot, it's going to be different. But with everything, obviously, excited to go away and learn and do my own thing, be independent and whatnot. And it'll make you like coming home and seeing them that much more, which is what I've heard a lot of people say. When you're away from it for so long and then you come back and you're that much more excited to go to camp or for your mom to cook you dinner, whatever that looks like. As far as just the Sioux as a city in a whole, fuck, I don't know, probably not gonna miss it, to be honest. There's not really a whole lot to miss here.
Look it to the right. Look at how high that is. Do you see that?
Can you see it in the camera?
Yeah. Oh my god, look at his whole thing's buried. He's...
We might have to. It looks like that's gonna take a long time. Holy, that's a lot of snow.
Holy dude.
Holy shit. Kind of feel bad. We're gonna help her, but we're not. Okay. Is that really good for you? Yeah. Go eat right now.
Carter was, growing up, he was really funny.
He was attached, if that would be a good
really
characteristic.
Close to his mom and dad. He
Loving, kind.
Yeah, he never strayed too far. And he was just a character, right? Had a big laugh.
Anxious.
Sometimes.
Anxious kid.
Yeah.
So my parents played a massive role in all of this and played completely separate roles. My mom was more of like an emotional rock and just the person to always motivate me and be like, you got this, you're the best, you can do this, that's just the role my mom played. My dad was more on the aspect of the actual business side of things. My dad's, like I said, a manager at the plant, so he works himself 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. He definitely instilled that into me. If it wasn't for his story and how he started in life, he would be the guy to be running his own business and doing his own thing as well. So those are all those character traits that he instilled in me, which is why I'm at where I'm at today. Even both of them from the beginning stages, talking about when I was dropping out, they were fully in as far as me just doing my own thing and pursuing what you think it is that you want to do, which is obviously massive, because if they would have been against me and said, no, like, you need to stay there, you're not doing that, if you were going to drop out, you're not coming back home, I would have just stayed in school. I would have graduated, 5 months ago, and none of this would be a thing. So
My initial reaction when he called and said he wanted to drop out of university was excitement. I was excited to know that we actually have that relationship with Carter, for him to feel comfortable enough to talk to his parents, and because I'm sure that's not easy for any kid to call their parents and be like, you have that fear, you feel like a failure, of course, like, you're there for a year, but I was more excited because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. I got to be able to live, through him, knowing that he's going to be able to be an entrepreneur and do his own thing. And I mean, he's young, so he has all the characteristics that no matter what he does in life, he's going to be success. Worst case scenario, I mean, you go back to school. It's not a big deal. So I mean, for me, it was that.
I kind of wasn't shocked because as a mom, I already had an inkling that he wasn't really happy or being true to himself there. I kind of had a feeling that it just wasn't for him. So I was trying to kind of have those conversations with him to just make him feel comfortable enough to tell us and know that whatever his decision was, we'd support him. And I was obviously happy to have him home. So that was a great thing.
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say it was, I thought he was a touch crazy. I mean, I'm not the biggest scholar myself, but starting a business at the age that he started it at, and to leave school after only 6 months, I think it was 1 semester. Yeah, I mean, pretty crazy, pretty wild, but I did have faith in him as well, and I understood that he wanted to have his shot at trying the business out and seeing where it takes him, so I could respect the hell out of that, because there's not a lot of people that actually would take that jump and have that leap of faith for themselves. So it was a little bit of a crazy moment, but it was also, I got faith.
Like, he thought that he was disappointing my parents, like they invested so much time and money into his schooling, but I was confident in him. Once he told me like the reason why he was dropping out, I had full confidence that he didn't need post-secondary school, like, as he was driven and he had the determination to make him successful.
Feels like it was yesterday, but it was actually a good amount of time ago. I started when I was 18, so I came out of high school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. The typical, I guess, story when you're coming out of high school. For the most part, I'm sure most people don't really know what they want to do, but I came out, I didn't even apply to university or college because I figured I'm not going to waste my time. Like, I literally had no idea. So I got a job at a grocery store, no frills, local, 5 minutes away from my house. And this was around like June, because that's when you graduate from high school. So I started working there full time. And then while I was working there, a course came across my screen for entrepreneurship, business, stuff like that. I didn't really know what it was. It was like $1,200 US at the time. So I asked my dad if he can buy it for me. Obviously, my dad being the type of person he is, he did. I didn't even hesitate. So I took that course. It was actually terrible, but at the time a guest speaker came on who owned a massive marketing agency, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. You don't really need any startup costs. You can do it from your laptop. So that inspired me. I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then ever since then, I was just posting content. I still didn't really know what I was doing because I didn't know what digital marketing was. This was, 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. And I was just working full time at No Frills, coming home, posting content, and doing all that stuff from my bedroom, obviously. And that's what the first sort of 8 months, 9 months looked like, was me just figuring out what digital marketing was. I took that course, and that was basically it for the first 9 months, and then obviously applied and started to try and go away to university. And I wanted to go away to university just for the experience. I always wanted to go away, live on my own. And my best friend, Max, was at Brock University out in St. Catharines, Southern Ontario. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go take business marketing at Brock. And I actually couldn't even get in because I didn't have everything I needed, the credentials from high school. So during that summer as well, I had to take an online course and then go back to school and do a victory lap year and take like another math at high school in St. Mary's. So I did that, I applied to Brock, I got in, and then yeah, basically I went to school for the experience, basically. I knew going into it that it wasn't really something I was gonna pursue. Like, I kind of already knew going into it that I don't think I'm gonna be here for the full 4 years. Obviously, I wasn't gonna tell my parents that when I'm originally applying, but I never really had any interest in getting any sort of business job anyways and working at a big corporate company. So after the first semester, I still did it with 100%, was getting good grades and whatnot, but literally after the first semester, I dropped out. So I finished one semester, didn't even entertain the second. I still stayed there for the full year, got the experience, but that's basically why I went there. I wanted to just confirm the decision that, that this isn't for me, this isn't what I want to do. I wanted the experience of going away. That taught me a lot anyways, but that's originally why I pursued going to university in the first place, just to reassure myself that it wasn't for me. Yeah, dropping out is obviously very scary for anyone, just in general, even if you do have your parents on your side, which I obviously did, but you still naturally put a lot of pressure on yourself because you're dropping out and that's it. Especially later on down the road when you're like a year or two into it, now you're thinking, okay, and some of my friends are finishing school, they're getting into their career jobs, I'm still, figuring it out. I have half a semester under my belt. But when I was first dropping out, I mean, yeah, obviously everyone's saying, what are you going to be doing? Are you going into a different program? Like, obviously you're not just dropping out and, that's it. And I was like, no, I'm probably just going to go get a job and start to try and pursue this full time. It was also very difficult because at the time I had a girlfriend too, so dropping out was just kind of exiting that in a way of, there wasn't really an end goal as far as she's living there and now I'm living in Sault Ste. Marie 8 hours away. So that was also another emotional aspect of things as far as making that emotional decision, which I'm obviously had to do it, didn't really have a choice, and glad I did, but that was also another aspect of things that were hard. Wasn't a whole lot of self-doubt just because I knew what I wanted already, and I was just honestly a little bit of a weight off my shoulders now that I just didn't have the pressure of school and failing the exams, but definitely a hard decision no matter what. Right when I got out of school, that's April now. Obviously that's when school ends and your exams end for any people in university, you know how that stuff works. So I finished up just living there because obviously second semester I wasn't doing anything, but got home and immediately started work at a factory here in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma Steel. So I was working full time, 2 days, 2 nights. I was in the steel making division. So it was great money, but obviously it wasn't what I wanted. And that was probably one of the most depressing times of my life because I laugh about it because it's an easy way to cope, but it legitimately was the most depressing times of my life. I just left my relationship with my girlfriend. You're in that gray period of, I was making money in the business like 2K, 3K, 4K, 1.5K a month. Like you're just hovering in that 1K to 4.5K a month mark. Shit was working and then it wasn't working. You didn't really know what you were doing still. And I was still making good money because at Algoma Steel, the factory, I was getting paid, like 4K a month working there. But you're like, I don't want to be here. The business is working but not working. I still don't know what I'm doing. I just broke up with my girlfriend. You're working 12-hour shift, 2 days, 2 nights in that place, which is already depressing as it is. So the mental warfare of what are you doing? Are you on the right path? Should you be doing this? Should you just stay at school? Was definitely a grind. So that whole summer was honestly just like a blip to me. I literally just worked the entire summer when I wasn't at Algoma Steel. I was working in the evenings on the business. And that was basically what that whole summer looked like 5 months from April to middle of September.
I think the advice I would give to parents, for kids who kind of create their own path or, want to start their own business or dreams or just out of the ordinary, would be to believe in them, and make sure they don't doubt themselves and just really support them.
Yeah, same thing for me. Would be trust them, support them. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong. Let them follow their path and give them as much support as possible.
And it's okay to fail. It's okay. You're just gonna learn from it, and if you have support, you'll get back up and just be stronger.
I started at the steel plant, like I said. It was a summer job when I left school for the summer. This was in 2022. And leaving was just like a big weight lifted off my shoulders, because I was like, okay, this is it. Now I can actually fully work on the business full time. So this is when I started full time, was middle of September 2022. Everything else prior to that was part-time, full-time. Obviously I was in university, I was working at No Frills, I was working this full-time job at the factory. So I was just excited in a way, because I was like, okay, even though they did offer me a $90,000, $100,000 a year job to work there full-time after I finished my summer job, because I thought I was going back to school, I knew that would always be there at the end of the day. And I was just excited to actually be able to do this full-time and really see, okay, is this, gonna work? Yeah, so this is where a lot of people become lost in entrepreneurship and business in general, just because in the early stages, a lot of your days are spent like figuring out, okay, what am I doing? Like, what should I be doing? Like, what am I gonna be working on for 12 hours? And eventually that just starts to come, like naturally the work will come. But in the early stages, you just have to start working on stuff and just doing stuff, and you'll be figuring out, okay, I shouldn't be doing this, should I be doing that? So yeah, it was a grind. I was just naturally working 10, 12, 14, 15 hours a day, cold calling, all this other miscellaneous stuff that I'm sure people have seen before in the content.
We just wanted to reach out to see if you'd be open to getting on a quick 10 to 15 minute Zoom call sometime this week.
Again, to be honest, I didn't even know what his business was at the start. So yeah, was it a little bit interesting to see him do like the hey guys on YouTube or Instagram? Yeah.
What is going on, everyone?
I don't know why I didn't care, to be honest. It was just like something I never cared about for some reason, which is obviously amazing, because that's, people care the most about everyone thinks. I never did. If anyone were to scroll back on my old TikToks, they'd see the stuff I was posting and walking down those cafeteria stairs in St. Mary's High School. You gotta have some serious balls to be posting the stuff that I was posting. And don't get me wrong, I laugh at that stuff too and look at it and be like, I would have the same reaction if I saw any of my buddies posting that. So makes sense. But for me, yeah, I never showcased financials or how well the business was doing, even though it was, doing great numbers. I never really cared about that. I've never talked about numbers in general, but posting the content and stuff is something I never really cared about. I did get chirped a lot in like more so university, not really high school, because I didn't post a whole lot in uni or in high school. People didn't really know what I was doing anyways. But in university, I would go out and yeah, people would be like, oh, the TikToks or they've seen the YouTube videos, and I never cared.
It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. So I don't think I ever ripped on him for anything that he ever did, just because, you know what? From an outsider looking in, hey, that takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and to do that. So, but I mean, did I think it was wild? And do I think some of them are a little, yeah? Well, yeah. But
I was stubborn. I didn't invest in everything. So for me, it was just all learning from experience, learning from online YouTube videos and stuff like that. But then in March of 2023, going into the new year, so after like 4 or 5 months of continuing to build and figure things out, I did my first over a 10K month, which is obviously everyone's big dream number in business in this space in general. And it just shows you that, okay, this stuff is possible. Like, you're seeing real traction now. Like, obviously you're making over 10K a month is good money. So that's when the first real, big kind of month happened for me was March of 2023. And then obviously it was one big snowball effect after that. For all of 2021, all of 2022, I was doing anywhere from 0 to 7K, and I could never break that threshold of doing over your first 10K month. And then, like I said, in March 2023, I made a couple massive changes and went right to like 43,000 in a month. And I was like, holy shit, okay, that's crazy. And then for all of 2023 after that, I never was able to beat that number. I was doing anywhere from like 15 to 30, 17, 20. And the following year, in February of 2024, I did over my first 50K month, and it was 63,000. Now I was like, okay, now we broke that threshold of the 50K month and what input's going to making over that. Now obviously the next goal is, okay, 6 figures and doing over 100K a month, which is a dream number. It's an insane number.
But I believe that eventually it will 100% happen. So
that was obviously another grind. So fast forward another full year, bringing us to today, January of 2025. We did 157,000 in a month, which, like I said, is an absolute dream. You dream of that stuff since you're 18 years old. chilling in bed being like 100K a month is crazy numbers, like literally unfathomable still right now. So yeah, that was what the scaling looked like. It was just obviously a lot goes into that. That could be an entire series on its own, but that was the timeline as far as when we hit certain things, there's certain goals that we hit.
All alone, I can hear crying. I can hear crying. I can hear crying. I can hear crying.
Seeing how well he's doing today and where it's all come in such a short period of time is still very surreal. I'm very proud of him, and just to think of how well he's done on his own and all the hard work and effort that goes into it behind the scenes, because we get to see it working at home in the basement. A lot of long days, a lot of long hours. I'm just really proud of him, and glad that it's working out for him. But like I said before, he's a kid that has all those right skills and pillars in life that no matter what he does, he's going to be successful at. But for sure, really proud of him, and still very surreal to see how well he's done.
Cry because he works hard. A lot of people think that it's just, you're working from home, it's easy, but he works hard, and it's not easy, but I'm super proud of him.
But success for me would be all of my loved ones and the people that I, are in my inner circle and I love around me, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, just to talk about my family, being able to enjoy the fruits of this labor, like them to have location freedom, them to have time freedom and be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, because I've gone to that level, is what I personally get the most joy out of, and is why I will push to these crazy next milestones and whatnot, because that's genuinely what I enjoy the most. Like when my parents come to Costa Rica, or when, the little things that I have done, getting my mom a coach, like those little things are what I enjoy the most. So success for me is when I get to a point when they can just do whatever they want, whenever the hell they feel like doing it. That's gonna be like, okay, this feels like true success. Like my family can do whatever the fuck they want. Thank God I love what I do. I need to just focus on the inputs, and if I was just continuing to do what I can control and wake up early in the morning and do this and do that, that eventually those numbers would come. When they would come, and if it would be in 2025 and 2027, 2028, I don't know. But I just wanted to focus on what I could control. Yeah, the biggest thing to entrepreneurship, or doing your own thing in general, or pursuing what it is that you really want to do and going against the grain and beating your own path, is you genuinely have to believe with your whole heart that you are able to accomplish doing a 10K, doing the 50K a month, doing the 100K a month, or just achieving whatever level of success you think. Because if you don't believe in yourself and believe what you can do, then it's never going to happen, because everyone else around you is going to be doubting it for the most part, and you're the only person who's going to be able to get yourself up in the morning and go and do the inputs that you need to do to achieve those goals. So if you're doubting yourself 90% of the time or 80% of the time, like, I don't know, is that even really possible? Can I do this? Like, it makes no sense. How am I going to achieve those numbers? Obviously, you're going to cross off those limiting beliefs. You're not going to go from 0 to 100,000 a month. You need to make the 10K to believe you can make the 50, to believe you can make the 100, and that will happen. But I'm saying you need to believe with your whole heart that you can do it. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. And that was the biggest thing for me, is that since the very beginning, I knew that if Johnny, Sally, Susan on YouTube could do the 10K a month, can do the 50K a month, and there's absolutely no reason why I can't. And I think that's just what kept me going, because I was like, even though this isn't working and this is happening and this is going on, I'll figure it out. I'll just keep doing what I know I need to be doing, and eventually it'll happen, because I just fully believe with my whole heart that I can hit these numbers and achieve these certain things. If I could speak to 18-year-old Carter right now, for one, he would be absolutely fucking fired up with where we're at today, and that these numbers felt like a pipe dream back then, but I did still know I would hit it. But obviously it is crazy. And I would say invest in yourself and don't be scared to spend money. I never took any courses or talked or had any mentors, and I think that hindered how fast I was able to get to where we're at now, because I could have learned things way quicker. People would have told me, yeah, no, definitely don't do that, do this instead, and I'm sure it would have helped me get to where I'm at much quicker. This isn't a crazy story by no means. I mean, it was a 4-year grind to get to where I'm at now, and I see some stuff on YouTube or the internet of people doing it in 8 months, a year, a year and a half. So I don't think it's necessarily the craziest story from a speed perspective, but I did it all on my own. I literally YouTube University it, learned from my own mistakes. I had 0 courses, learned Facebook ads, like everything was just self-taught on my own. And it's cool to say, but dumb at the same time. I definitely could have invested in myself more, took courses. That would be the one piece of advice that I would have gave to myself, is don't be scared to spend money. What's next? Chapter 2, we're leaving the basement finally after 3.5 years of grinding here in Sault Ste. Marie. I've always wanted to go to a big city and live and work from your laptop. That's like what the whole, I guess, kind of end goal is being able to work from wherever you want. And I always wanted to do it, but I always put it off for a bit because I never really knew where the business was going to go, and I want to make sure I was still going to be good, so it wasn't a dumb decision. But finally, with where we're at now, March 1st of 2025, I'll fully be moved into a new apartment in Montreal, and we're going to be living our own and working from a new spot.
From a big brother standpoint, it's amazing to see. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I think I've messaged him and just said how proud I am after each milestone, and he just keeps upping his game and upping the level, and to see him kind of spread his wings and go to Montreal now is amazing. I think this is going to be not only great for the business, but just good for himself. We're a pretty tight-knit family, and so is it going to suck not seeing him at the house every day? Absolutely. But I think this is going to be very beneficial for himself, more than the business, but the business as well. And yeah, to see him strive and to hit these goals and to grind the way that he does, man, it's amazing to watch. It's unbelievable. Like, I'll message him or call him late at night and he's still on his computer down. Like, it's not easy. So for anybody that thinks, starting a business and then you're gonna just have success like that, I mean, Carter's a testament to keep grinding and to keep pushing and to keep doing it, because he believed in himself and he enjoys what he does. So it helps exponentially. It's amazing.
I'm sad, like selfishly, like I wish that he would stay, but I'm excited for him. I think Montreal is just gonna give him so many more opportunities and experiences there. And yeah, I'm excited for him, but I'm also sad just because I grew up with him. I can't say this. It's sad to now that I'm gonna be like an only child, basically. Yeah. So yeah, now all the attention's on me, and I don't want that at all from my parents. I hate it.
Keep doing what you're doing. Don't lose that drive. He's got this mindset that the next level isn't good enough, and he just wants to keep pushing it, and I hope he never loses that drive, because I think there's some people that get to a point and then they kind of just stay stagnant and they just appreciate where they're at, and he just keeps pushing the pace, and it's awesome. There's not a lot of people out there that have that same mindset or capability to do that, and he's doing it, so I couldn't be prouder.
Keep pushing forward, keep grinding, keep following your path and your heart, and be true to yourself.
We're always here, no matter what.
Yeah.
Home's always home. But for him to create something amazing somewhere else, that's awesome. We're super proud of that.
Don't be afraid of the phone call to say that Montreal's not for me and I'm coming back home.
Or keep the door open because mom's coming. I've been warning him, so I think I'm definitely going there, and I
Chantal
keep
just said
telling
to
him
me
I'm gonna cook for him. So
Chantal said to me last night, just letting you know that I'm booking my own trips there by myself. I said, yeah, that's okay. I'm doing the same. She goes, yeah, I know you would. He'll have lots of family and visitors, I'm sure.
yeah, it'll be exciting for him.
I'm very excited for him. Very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice. The big city, a lot of people, lots of
Different
things to do,
opportunities.
more opportunities.
Yeah.
Little shout out to Brock.
Stop that. No.
Yeah. Me and Parker have tried to like pause ourselves in the moments and actually been like, we've done it like a couple times now, because obviously all this stuff like we literally chatted about like for years, or then obviously the couple months leading up to it, we're like, oh, I can't wait till we're just like chilling on a weekend, we got the movie on and we're just, you know, doing our thing, or I can't wait till we're doing this, doing that. So we've had a lot of moments where even last week when we went out to this hookah bar and it's the end of the Q1 and we're chilling there, you know, enjoying our weekend, having a couple drinks, come back at 11, watch YouTube, chill out. We've had moments where we're just like, oh, we just talked about like waiting for this moment for so long, because usually we're both just on our own and kind of thinking, okay, well, you know, what do we do this weekend to try and like stay locked in? Like we're just on our own, we've got to try and like stay locked. So yeah, we've definitely had our moments where we've been like, yo, let's enjoy this, because we've talked about this for like years now. We're finally doing it, so I actually enjoy it. Yeah, Parker's been game changing as far as the success. I give him tons of credit, and he should pat himself in the back for everything he's done. I mean, it goes for the entire team, but I mean, especially him. He joined when I was still, you know, relatively in the early stages. Obviously, I went through the battle of starting this whole thing up and growing it to, you know, the 10, 13, 15 clients that it was at when he did come on and join. But he took a risk on his end as well. He left his, you know, full-time guaranteed salary job. I gave him the offer that I gave him, and he said, hell yeah, left without hesitation. He was working part-time for a bit for like 8 months, but then left, took the risk, and obviously, you know, it's working out to where we're at now. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at without him. Who knows where the path I would have been on, but I'm super glad he's here, and I give him a lot of credit for what he's done as far as team building, just, yeah, everything. I'm not going to glaze him too much in this, but I give him massive credit, even though I don't say it to him all the time, because I don't want him to, you know, give him too much. Give him too much, but he's, yeah, a huge part of this. Yeah, the biggest thing from leaving home and then coming here from an environment perspective is obviously me and Parker just on the exact same page. So when you're with people or surrounded by people that are on the exact same page, everything just gets that much easier. The hard things become less hard because you're both doing the same thing. So I'm not fighting the mental battle of, oh, I don't want to eat, I'm just using examples here, but oh, I don't want to eat those cookies, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, because they're not even in the house. Like, they're not in the condo. We're just eating good food, being healthy. We're both dialed. We're not, you know, going out. We're working 10, 12, 15-hour days. We're going to the gym. So when you have people that are on the exact same page around you, it's pretty easy to stay dialed and do the things you want to do because you're both doing the exact same thing. That's been the biggest change. And then just having access to everything that we have access to. Grocery store right down the street. We got the sauna. We got the gym right here in the building. So doing the cardio, working out, everything's just that much easier. That's just been the biggest change. Just everything's leveled up basically, and then obviously just the environment changes as a whole. Oh yeah. So we had the first team collective, Tremblant 2025, end of Q1. Great times. Awesome to meet all the boys in person and actually see it all come full circle and whatnot. So
that's also just little stuff that you take for granted too, like bringing everyone out there and whatnot. Obviously, it wasn't like anything crazy compared to what people have done, but the whole point is that stuff I've dreamt of, like little stuff like that. Like, oh, imagine meeting up with a team in person, or like meeting up with people in person and doing stuff like little stuff like that is legit things that I can vividly remember dreaming of. So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, obviously you're really building your own environment. The team's great, so shout out to everyone, Angel, Luca, Andreas, Keenan, Marge, whoever else is a part of the team, Rafai. When you guys do end up watching this, yeah, they're killers. I love them. I wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be doing the things we're doing without them. They're all a massive part to everything, so I'm super excited to continue to grow with them. Yeah, it was sick to meet everyone in person. It was exactly how I thought it would be. Yeah, I mean, the mission for us has kind of always been pretty clear. We want to become like a top real estate marketing firm for successful, established agents, teams. There's a lot of people in the space, like bigger players that are just like, oh, you know them because they're big players. But we want to have more of that wow factor, like, oh shit, like, yeah, you're working with a versatile agency, like, yeah, they're, you know, crazy expensive, but they're dialed in, got a crazy team, crazy brand, like, you know, the owner's got a crazy brand, the whole thing's like, you know them because it's like that wow factor, not just you know them because they're just a big company, you know them because it's like, oh shit, like, oh, you work for versatile agency, that's sick, that's the kind of vibe that I want to go for. So that's obviously more of a boutique approach. That's the approach I've always wanted to take, just crazy customer service, crazy service in general, crazy lean team. So that's the longer term vision, is to continue to build out that more boutique approach, continue to build the brand. And then for me, it's just continue to invest more in myself and everyone, personal growth, doing more trainings and stuff like that. The only way to learn is by continuing to chat with other people, take courses, stuff like that. So I want to make sure I continue to grow my knowledge just so I can continue to build and think of new ideas and do more stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna watch this, the whole fam, Mom, Dad, Rai, Gab. Thank you for being a part of it. Gab especially, it was hard to get you on the camera, but yeah, thanks for everything. You guys have got me to where I'm at now, sitting in this beautiful apartment, especially Mom and Dad. Helped me set up this whole thing. That's why the shot looks as beautiful as it does, but love you guys. You're why I'm here where I am, and no matter what happens, we're doing good. So yeah, appreciate everything.
That's my heart, my veins, that's my blood, my bones. If you want that case, that's a case so close. If you're in his way, then I'm on my way. Oh, don't shoot that boy. He stays in the clouds. He don't shoot that boy down. I'll lay your ass out. I will. Don't shoot that boy. Got my heart, my veins, that's my blood, my bones. If you want that case, that's a case so close. If you're in his way, bitch, I'm on my way. Don't shoot that boy. He stays in the clouds. Don't shoot that boy down. I'll lay your ass out. So don't you dare shoot that boy down.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our channel. This is our very first YouTube video, so let's see how it goes.
Touch it if you want. I'm just wrapping up his dock here.
This is it. Last 7 months of filming, 4.5 years of grinding, and we were working on something big the whole time. Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do, and I figured might as well add into the end of this crazy video we've been filming for the last like 7 months since the start of 2025. So yeah, super exciting, but it's gonna have everything I've ever done for the last 4.5 years, all the systems, SOPs, the sales call recordings, our offers, the testimonials, the landing pages, the sales call presentations, weekly calls with myself, the head of sales, Parker CEO, and now I'm giving it all away. Package it up into this beautiful mentorship coaching program called Off-Campus Coaching. If you're watching this, then you probably already heard about it, or you'll be able to click the link below and actually schedule a call and learn more about what it is, but it'll be good.
That's it.
That's it.
It's a wrap, buddy.
It's a wrap. Good job, pal. Show the man behind the camera, give me that thing. Man behind the laptop. The man behind the camera for the last 7 months. Take a bow, take a bow. Let's go.
We did it.
Wrap, baby.
You're certain for what you know.